Hi, I'm Carla Stancifer. I'm the curator of Japanese art at the Murakami Museum in Delray Beach, Florida. The Murakami Museum is unique because we collect and exhibit only artwork created by Japanese or Japanese American artists. And if you look around the US, a lot of the Asian art museums collect only Japanese, and then there are very few handful of specialty museums that collect only Japanese American. So here at our institution, we get to do a bit of both. One example of a Japanese artist is Iwasaki Tsuneo, who does these beautiful Buddhist paintings. These are on view at the Murakami Museum right now. Well, when we talk about our collection, we kind of have three parts we need to separate. We have the original Yamato Colony archives, and most of that did originate from George Murakami's estate. Papers, pictures, that kind of thing. The second part of our collection is historic. Everyday items from historic times in Japan, especially the Edo period. And so we have a lot of things, and even in more modern, we have a rice cooker from the 1960s, which is kind of fun. It actually has English written on it, even though it was sold in Japan, so that's kind of a neat piece. And then the third part of our collection is the fine art. And some of our best pieces have come from some pretty serious Asian art collectors throughout the years, such as Mary Griggs Burke and also the Elaine Ehrenkrantz collection. I have to say the weirdest object, when I first started working here, I was walking down in collections and I looked on one of the shelves, and we have what's called in Japanese, benjo. In English we would say toilet. It's one of the squatty potties that go in the ground, but it's really nicely painted, so that kind of took me by surprise at first. Our oldest object is haniwa from the Kofun period. Now, Kofun period is 300 to 538 CE, so it's at least 1500 years old. And the haniwa were cylindrical sculptures that went around the tomb mounds, partly to help with erosion, but also to sort of indicate the barrier from the everyday world into this special world of the ancestors. Understand life. I have to go with the Kamiya Diary. Henry Tamemasu Kamiya was one of the original Yamato Colony founders, and he kept a diary from 1914 to 1941. And it's a really fascinating read. If you get to hear about the everyday life on the farm, what he was planting where, but also, the birth of his daughter, the death of Joe Sakai, who was the founder of the colony, and his brother-in-law. So you also get international events in that diary. So I think that is probably the best thing that gives us the broadest picture of what it is to be alive and a human. Sure, we get this a lot. Why is the Japanese museum in South Florida? That's all because of the Yamato Colony. In the early 1900s, a group of originally young men came to farm the fields. It was an agricultural experiment, and Joe Sakai was their founder who found the land. He worked with the Flagler Land Company, and they brought eventually just the young men, and then eventually families came over. They went over and got brides and had children, and so the community developed from there. But the community sadly was weakened after 1923, the real estate boom, and then of course 1941 with the start of the war, a lot of people dispersed at that time. Yes, that's a very good question. We're very typical, like most art museums, about 90% of our collections in storage at any given time. And we do have a special storage facility. Our main museum building was completed in 1993, and the first floor became storage and office space, but then we built earth up around it. And that really helps us protect the pieces with temperature control, with climate control, with light control. So that's a really good thing that we have in our storage. We also have some special devices that we use, things like compactable shelving that we can roll back and forth so we can get a lot in there, but keep everything safe and secure. And our collection is a little over 7,000 pieces, but of course that all depends on how you count it. It can be difficult, you know, for an example, if you have a tea set, do you count it as one set? Do you count each cup and lid, or, you know, how are you doing that? So we generally say 7,000 pieces. Yes, of course. That's very important for any museum right now to be looking to the future. And we here at the Murakami are doing that through special activities such as this Ask a Curator Day on social platforms. In our current gallery, we have QR codes to give additional information to anyone who wants that. We're also renovating our original museum building, which we call the Yamato-kan. It was built back in the 1970s, and now we are reinstalling it, reinventing it with some new activities, and we're looking at perhaps some new interactive art pieces that would be very exciting. And we also look to exhibits. You know, every exhibit, it's hard to make it perfect for all of our visitors, but for example, in 2016, we had Perseverance, which was all about traditional Japanese tattoos, and we found the younger demographic really loved that. Our older one maybe didn't like it so much at first, but then they learned to appreciate it through seeing the exhibit.